Linked treble crochets are sort of a hybrid stitch. They're part regular crochet and part Afghan stitch or Tunisian stitch that you do with a regular hook. They make a great solid fabric, and they're kind of fun to do once you get the hang of them. Linked trebles can be worked on any multiple of stitches. I'm starting here with a row of single crochet just to act as a base. And I'll turn and chain 4. That chain 4 does not count as a stitch at this time. Normally, with a treble crochet, we would do 2 yarn overs and then go in and do our stitch. But we're going to do our yarn overs a little bit differently for linked stitches. The first thing I'm going to do is, first of all, I want to turn this the other way. I'm going to insert my hook into the second chain from my hook. So counting backwards, that would be this stitch. So I can insert my hook into the second chain from the hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. That is my first yarn over. Then I'm going to insert my hook into the next chain, yarn over and pull up a loop. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. That's like my original loop and 2 yarn overs. And then I'm going to go in to the base of that chain, so right into this first stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. So I have 4 loops on my hook, just like I would when I was doing a regular treble crochet, and I'll yarn over and pull through 2 3 times to get those stitches, those loops off my hook. So that is my beginning linked treble crochet. Notice that those 2 yarn overs created a horizontal bar right here. There's an upper horizontal bar and a lower horizontal bar. You're going to want to be able to recognize those because you're going to use them again right now. Now we're ready to do another treble crochet. We've built up we use the chain 4 to build up our stitch, that first stitch. Now, instead of doing 2 yarn overs, we're just going to go in from top to bottom under that first yarn over bar, the horizontal bar, yarn over, pull up a loop. Do the same thing on the next horizontal bar. Go in, yarn over, pull up a loop. Those are my 2 yarn overs for my treble, and then go into the next stitch. They're my 4 yarn overs or 4 loops, and yarn over and pull through 2 3 times to work them off. And that's all there is to it. I'll do that all the way across. For my last stitch, I'll go under that top bar, pull up a loop, go under the next bar, pull up a loop, and go into the last stitch and pull up a loop and work that stitch off. After my first row of linked trebles is done, you can see all those yarn overs create a horizontal bar across the entire row. When I turn, that feature will be on the other side. So I'll turn, chain 4, and let me show you a little bit of a different way to do the beginning linked treble. Before, I worked into the front of the chain, so right into that spot. But if I like, I can work into the back bump of the chain. When I turn the chain around, there's a back bump there. And if I go in there and pull up a loop, this would be just like if you were working into the back bump of your foundation chain, into the second chain from hook, and the next chain, and then into the base of the chain, because the chain didn't count as a stitch, so I'm working into the base of the chain. I've got my 4 loops, and I work that off. And I'll show you in a minute what that does and how that looks different. But let me go ahead and do another row of linked trebles. I just go into that top bar, pull up a loop. Notice I'm going from top to bottom, and then into the next stitch. I'll work all the way across this row and then show you the difference. At the end of the second row, remember my chain did not count as a stitch, so the last stitch I work into is the top of that beginning linked treble. So there are those horizontal bars on the right side. Here are the horizontal bars on the second row. When I worked into the back bump of my turning chain, that left a little bit of a chain going up, or uninterrupted chain going up the side of my piece. Whereas when I worked into the regular part of the chain on this one, you don't get that same smooth line of V's that you do on this side. Either way you do it is fine. You just want to stick with one method and use it all the way throughout. If you'd like more crochet instruction like this, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Check out the links in the video notes for other ways you can find me. Thanks for watching.